Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on a Saturday night. I am back, and it is good to be back. The last time I did a video was about 3 or 4 days ago. I came down with that stomach flu, and it hit me, I think Wednesday, it was late Wednesday night. And I tell you what, that's no joke. If y'all have had it, it's going around big time right now. And it hit me on my dog behind. And I've been living on Gatorade and water ever since, and a few crackers here and there, and some plain toast. But I'm getting there. I'm getting stronger. I'm not 100% by any means, so bear with me. And bear with me on the emails. I'm working. I'm going to work on those. I know I'm behind on that. So if you've emailed, heard nothing, please have some patience there and bear with me. But the stomach flu, y'all, is no joke. If you get it, I mean, you're just going to have to ride it out. I recommend sports drink, Gatorade, Pedialyte, something like that, or Powerade, something similar to it, plus water, of course. But just keep drinking a lot of fluids because you're going to lose a lot of fluids, all right? I'm glad we stock a lot of this kind of stuff. And it doesn't have to be Gatorade. I'm not affiliated with them, of course. It can be anything, but we like to stock some of the powder form as well. But I went through a lot of this, still am, actually. So you got to keep hydrated. You got to rest. I've done a lot of sleeping as well. But it is no joke. It's no fun, y'all. So anyway, enough of that. I want to talk about the food rationing and unrest is starting to increase. And I know a lot of people are talking about food shortages and rationing, and we're going to be running out of food and all that. And it's going to lead to unrest and riots. Are we going to see that here in the United States and Canada? I believe we could see the unrest. I really do. And I believe it's not necessarily because of no food. I think it's going to be because of the prices are going to be so high that people aren't going to be able to afford what they need and what they want, even what they really need, the basics. So I believe that can lead to unrest because if we look at some cases, I'll talk about in a second, where you're seeing this around the world, it's because, or they're really blaming it a lot on the high prices. So I believe we could see that here. I really do. Starting to see a little cracks in there, leading to this. Walgreens, a big pharmacy retail store, is rationing baby formula, not food, but the baby formula. Almost 30% of their top selling formulas are out of stock across all of the United States stores. Okay. They're limiting customers to 3 infant and toddler formula product purchases at a time. And this is at all United States locations right now. So that's one thing, and that's just one sign of things like this. I know food banks are struggling right now. Maybe not every single one, but as a whole, majority of them are starting to struggle, some more than others, of course, and they're starting to place limits on things as well, rationing, whatever you want to call it. Spain is allowing rationing from some of its stores to avoid food shortages there. So we're starting to see this in Europe as well. If you live in Europe and you're starting to see this more, it hasn't been in anywhere in publications or in any of the media, let us know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Will this increase? I believe so. I really do. It'll increase on a global scale for sure. And I believe we could see it here in North America as well. I really, really do. What if the stores limit how many items you can purchase? Just in general, start limiting how many items, period, that you can purchase in a day or a week even, I could see that happening for sure. What if, and you might say, well, if they give me 50 items, I can get by on that. But what if it starts out at that and the next week you come by, it's 25 items or 10 items, So what are you going to do then? and that's why we prepare, of course. So we need to keep doing that, of course. So we are starting to see more unrest and riots. I saw a video a while ago in Shanghai, and China needs to be careful with this. I mean, the people are getting hungry there in Shanghai. I saw a video where they were having some pretty rowdy, some pretty rough riots out there, and they're blaming it on the food and medicines. They need it. They're in these strict lockdowns, and people are getting desperate. And they're getting, when people get desperate, they get dangerous no matter what. I don't care what kind of draconian system you're under in China, even. They're gonna get desperate, and they are already. Peru is seeing food unrest. Sri Lanka has been seeing it as well, and they're saying from the high prices is what they're really blaming it on as well. And this could be some shortages as well, but the runaway inflation, and this will keep, and that runaway inflation will just keep going on and going up, and it's going to keep squeezing the middle class even more and making it smaller. I do believe that. Something I've been thinking about too is I believe, and I think we're already starting to see this, is multi-generational homes. You're going to start seeing that. It's going to become more common. It already is. Some cultures already make this very common in their families, and it kind of makes sense when you think about it. I also want to call out and shout out Prepping by Faith. I did a very good video on this, and she went into some detail about multi-generational homes and how that will be our future, so check that out when you can. It's a very good video. But I really do, I believe that will be we'll see that more common. And, because when you look at even just housing, I mean, rent is going crazy right now. I don't see anybody rents even. And what you get for renting is ridiculous. And when you want to try to purchase a home, I mean, so much of the population is being squeezed out of that and priced out of it. You got investors and folks like BlackRock, I think is what it's called, buying up all this stuff before any regular guy can get in there and buy anything, So it kind of makes sense when you think about it. You pool your resources, your assets, your talents, your land, get some land. Something to think about. Really is something to think about, y'all. So we got to keep preparing. Any hedge you can find. I mean, what are some creative ways you're doing that? Any hedge you can use against inflation and what is going on with all these prices. Okay, and like I said, it's not so much because we just have no food in the stores. Will that happen? I don't think so. It could. It very well could. But I think at least for now, it's the high prices. It really is. So prep any hedge you can use against this stuff. Pray, of course, which leads me to, of course, a very good verse. Verse from today is going to be Romans chapter 5, verse 8. You've probably heard it before. Says, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." Amen. He did. Very thankful for that, of course. And he did that so we may have everlasting life. And we need to remember that. We're about to enter Holy Week, so let's keep that in mind as well. But I will leave it at there. Take care. Be aware. God bless y'all. See you soon.